For those who study the world through the lens of survival, warfare, and forgotten human ingenuity, few things are more valuable than a skill that has survived unchanged for centuries. Before we get into this lost method, make sure you're subscribed to the channel so you never miss these historical deep dives. Now, let's get straight into the technique and why it remains powerful today. High-altitude tribes across Asia, the Balkans and the Caucasus developed a terrain-reading skill that allowed them to track movement, forecast weather shifts, and navigate blindly through hostile slopes. This wasn't mysticism, it was trained observation. They studied the angle of rock fractures, patterns of lichen growth, wind grooves in the soil, and subtle temperature differences in shaded ravines. To them, the land wasn't scenery, it was an information system. A warrior who mastered this could move across ridgelines without exposing himself, locate hidden water, and predict rock slides long before they happened. Modern hikers and soldiers still use fragments of this without knowing its origin. For practical use today, you can adopt the same principles by reading the micro-terrain, the small details most people ignore. If you're moving through a mountainous route, check where moss grows thickest to confirm stable moisture zones. Now, study shadow lines late in the day to identify natural concealment routes. And, use wind patterns at passes to determine whether a valley ahead is open, blocked, or narrowing. These observations honestly keep you safe and make your movement far more efficient. One of the most effective skills these tribes used was constructing silent, low-impact footpaths along scree slopes and loose shale. Instead of fighting the terrain, they shaped it. They shifted stones only during the coldest hours, when the rock was less likely to slide, creating small lock points that held entire paths together. This allowed them to move large groups without triggering noise, dust, or rockfall, critical during intertribal conflicts or when avoiding larger invading forces. You can apply this in real conditions by testing each step with the outside edge of your boot before committing weight. Step where larger stones wedge into smaller ones, and reroute your line if the slope gives even a slight trickle of debris. If you're building a temporary path for repeated movement, reinforce it with triangular stone placements, the same trick the tribes used, which stabilizes the larger rocks above. Mountain tribes trained their fighters to identify the direction, distance, and speed of movement through echo behavior. A single stone strike against a sheltered rock wall could tell them if a ravine narrowed, if a ridge curved, or even if someone was moving behind a fold in the landscape. This was early acoustic reconnaissance. To use this today, just strike a rock lightly against a fixed surface and, listen carefully. A dull echo usually means there's a closed space ahead, while a stretched echo, indicates an open valley. Multiple bounces can actually reveal hidden pockets or sharp turns. This helps you understand terrain layout, even in low visibility. If you found this useful and want more historical skills that honestly still hold power today, make sure you subscribe and share this guide with others who respect real survival knowledge and the history behind it.